It's a wrap here for UFC 320. I'm Joe the Fan with Shane O'Mac from Just Win Bets Baby. Shano, we go 4-2 with a couple big wins. We go Prochazka, which I called round 3 to finish round 3 or within that round. That was plus 650. But let's talk about yours, Alex Pereira, to knock out at plus 220.
Yeah, Alex Pereira came up big. First round knockout. Early knockout. It was like a minute and 20 into it. Basically, they came out and then the fight was over.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira, he has the coolest UFC entrance, I think, of all time. When he comes out and he like does the bow and arrow before he gets into the ring, and he's like, Pshaw! It's so cool. He gets the crowd so hyped. He's a crowd favorite because like he always comes in and brings it. But yeah, I was all over Pereira. I figured he was going to win, and I was like, if he wins, it's probably going to be my knockout. Because that first fight they had, it was competitive, and there's rumors that he was sick. He even said after the fight that he was sick. Yeah. And then there was other rumors that I told you that on our video when we made our picks, that there was rumors that he had a sprain in his wrist and like a bone bruise in his right hand. So and that was his last fight, and that made sense because he's been out since then, since UFC 313. So it's at least been 7-8 months since the last time he fought. So he was all healed up, and then he looked really good.
Yeah, absolutely. But a great call there. As well as a few other calls that you made, but let's go match per match. Let's go with the first one. Yeah, I liked it. The match was good, but we didn't hit on that.
Yeah, so we had Joe Pfeiffer. I said by knockout, and then he won by submission. It was close to being a knockout. He knocked him down.
Yeah,
he knocked him down, and then Charlie got on top, and he couldn't get the ground and pound going. So then he went for the submission and got him. But yeah, so we got the fighter right, just wrong method. That happens sometimes in UFC. It wasn't worth betting him money line because the money line was like minus 250 or something like that on him. So it was the only way worthwhile for him to bet on him was by picking a method, and he's known as a knockout guy, so that's why I went with knockout. And it was close, but no, submission. That's what it was.
Let's go to our second match there, where here was the interesting one there, Shano. It was a verbal tap out because we saw the match together, and then he had his arms kind of like pinned. He couldn't, normal. Hey, I'm tapping. And what I learned today, which was very interesting from the MMA wit, he told me, and you'll see in these matches where, hey, I thought it was just sportsmanship, blah blah blah. It's just kind of like it's an unwritten rule, like, hey, look. If you're going to, tap out, if you're going to say, hey, I'm tapping, I'll let go. Because if we don't have that understanding, and that's why they do that, means, hey, anything goes. So if you have that arm lock, and it's like, hey, you're going to go Brock Lesnar style, snap it. Sorry, bro.
I saw my wife and I, we went to a Hard Times Cafe. This was years ago, at least 10 years ago. Yes. We went there and we were watching a UFC fight together.
Good chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were showing the UFC fights and we went there, and then there was this one guy, I can't remember who it is. I have to look it back up. But anyways, he had this guy in an armbar, and the guy holding the armbar was like yelling. He's like, "Are you gonna tap? Are you gonna tap?" And the guy just wasn't tapping. And he just literally broke his arm. And everybody in the whole bar was like, "Oh my god!" Oh. And it was gruesome. It was bad. But the guy should have tapped. I'm sorry. Like he got to tap during that. But yeah, that was crazy. And that's another one too. That surprised me. Another round 1 submission. And I didn't see that from Zala because Zala's not known for finishing fights. He's a really good fighter, but he's not known as a finisher. He's usually winning a guy who wins by points. That's what I put him as, is winning by decision. Right. But he finished a round in submission in round 1. But once again, picked the right fighter, wrong method. It happens. But at least that was our only 2 losses. So hey,
yeah,
we went great the rest of the card.
The next fight, of course, was my guy Jiri Prochazka, the Czech guy from Czech or Czech Republic, what have you. I was worried in the beginning there, Shano, but third round, Roundtree Jr. was getting really tired. I'm like, here we go. And it got him with a couple, especially that back elbow. He got him. Mm-hmm. And that third round, bro, we hit that one big.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was my original bet with Jiri by knockout, and you're like, what about third round? I was like, that's actually not a bad one because Roundtree's a really good fighter, but he's known to for getting gassed, and that's what happened because he came out, he won the first round. Roundtree did, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the second round he might have won too. I think that was a little bit more balanced, but the third round, Jiri came out and just dominated him, and Roundtree was just gassed. He couldn't do anything. So I agree. That was a great bet though. Plus 650, huge money.
Yeah. Jerry went. They went Ivan Drago, trainer in the corner there. You know, and then he went great. I was like, holy cow! I loved it.
And this year, he's back when he first came to UFC. He used to have like a little man bun that he'd come out with. I kind of miss it. He was like he'd pull that. Now he's all shaved off. Maybe he's starting to go bald or something. I don't know.
No. I'm a fan of his. Like I said,
he's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter.
Yeah. I coached a kid who's now proud parent. He's actually my I think his kid is in my kid's age, give or take. Great family and stuff like that. Played football for me, coached him up. Last name Prochazka, and tough SOBs right there, man. So my hat's off to him. I'm a fan of that guy, Jerry. So let's move to our co-main event where you called by going the distance there, but by unanimous decision there. And so it was definitely over 4.5 rounds.
Yeah, I said unanimous decision by the machine, Rob, and that's what happened. I mean, I think that was pretty much the lock of the night. It was a time it was kind of scary. I think it was like the third round. He knocked him down to the ground, and I was like, uh-oh.
yeah.
Uh-oh, maybe this isn't going to go to decision. But he didn't finish him. Corey Sandhagen's a tough dude. He's a tough fighter. He stayed in there, but yeah, Merab by decision. That was locked. Got guaranteed that one. And that went through. So that was huge. So another big win for us.
Then the main event, of course, we talked about Alex Pereira with his victory at plus 220 by knockout. Your thoughts there on, that was another win for us.
Yeah, another big plus money win. Alex Pereira, like I said earlier, he's probably the best kickboxer in the UFC overall. Before he got to the UFC, he's kind of late joining the UFC. He was a world-renowned kickboxer outside the world of UFC and just in straight mixed martial arts and kickboxing circles. He won multiple championships outside the UFC, and then the UFC finally signed him. And yeah, he's a world-class kickboxer. And when he's on, I mean, you just got to look out. And then he was on for sure. Knocked the dude out in a minute and a half or whatever it was. So yeah. It's interesting to see who he's going to fight next because Dana White came out today and said that Alex Pereira asked him about maybe moving up to heavyweight. Because Pereira's not young; he's getting up there. Because like I said, he's been a fighter for a long time, but just kind of recently in the UFC the last couple of years. But I think he's like 38, almost 39. So maybe it's harder for him to cut weight down to light heavyweight. I don't know, but I heard that he's asking for a heavyweight fight next.
Interesting. Let's go to our next pay-per-view that we're going to be covering. The main event here and it takes place in Dubai, UFC 321 there. Not going to put you on the spot yet there, Shano, but this one's an early one for us.
Yeah, it's because it's in Dubai. I think like the main card starts at like 2 p.m. or something like that. So it's always weird when it's over there. I'm never a huge fan when they do it overseas. I'm sorry. But even when they do it in Europe and stuff like that, I'm not a huge fan of it. Just because it sucks for us because it's like we're watching it at lunchtime. But I get it. It's a global sport. They have fighters from all over the world. I get it. Sure. But I'm just being a selfish American here.
Yeah. So we have, of course, Aspinall taking on Gain there.
I think Aspinall rolls. He's been on the shelf for a long time. He's been remember he was the one waiting to fight John Jones, and John Jones kept ducking him, and so he hasn't fought in a long time, and he's itching to fight. And I think he's going to show that he's going to be pissed off and come out there and just try and roll over Cyril Gagne. He's going to crush him. That's my original bet, my original pick. It's not for a couple more weeks. I'll look into it more, but matchup styles and all that stuff. But Tom Aspinall's a really, really good fighter. He's really, really solid. The only thing that's questionable about him is he finishes like almost all of his fights, and he has. I don't think he's ever gone past the second round. So that's if Gagne can stretch the fight out and take him into deep waters, as boxers say, right? You take him into the deep waters of the late rounds, then you might have a chance of beating him because he's never done it before. But we shall see. But if my off the dome, top of my head, my instinct tells me Aspinall's going to win probably by knockout in the first round.
October 25th, 2025. That's going to be UFC 321 taking place in Dubai, where the prelims start at 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And of course, the pay-per-view, as Shano mentioned, it will start at 2 o'clock. So we'll probably record that, guys. We usually record that the night before because we wait until the weigh-ins, right? This one, I mean, that's something that we all here in the studio, you, me, producer Mark, everybody's got to talk about. Maybe we'll cut that live on Thursday night. So we're not 100% sure. So we don't want to promise you something. As we get closer, we'll make an announcement and to see exactly how it is. So we can get the predictions out to you guys because this is a unique time.
Yeah, for sure. And it's early, much earlier. So yeah, if we don't put it out till Saturday morning or Friday night, it's not a whole lot of time for people to get their bets in. So I agree, we might have to do it on that Thursday night beforehand. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that heavyweight fight for sure because it's been a while since Aspinall fought, and I want to see what he can do now that he is the champ without even actually fighting anybody, which is crazy because he was the interim champ because John Jones wouldn't fight him, and then now he's the official champ, the undisputed champ, because John Jones retired, and now he's coming back or supposedly coming back, but that's a whole different story. The rest of the card, I think is just okay. I'm not crazy about it, but
Right.
there's one or two more good fights. Like Batista is fighting Nurmagomedov, and that should be all right. That should be a good fight. And then you got Alexander Volkov, another heavyweight fight. That should be okay. The fight needs stars, and this is why a lot of people were mad of how the UFC handled this John Bones Jones and Tom Aspinall thing, because Aspinall he's a good talker. He can promote fights, and he's a good fighter. And he's in the prime of his years right now. He's in his late 20s. So he's in like the prime of his, athletic career, and the UFC's like been wasting him for the past year. He hasn't fought. And like they're like, you're wasting a superstar in the making in a division that doesn't have that many superstars right now. The heavyweight division is pretty lackluster right now.
Yeah, and let's not take away anything from the two Brazilian females here in the women's strawweight. It's going to be, of course, Dern taking on, I believe it's Verena Jandirosa. I believe that's
Roba?
Yeah, Roba. Excuse me, I mispronounced that. Yeah, that's going to be right before the main event there. So the co-main event. I'm interested in seeing that, my friend.
Yeah, that should be good. Mackenzie Dern's a pretty good, solid fighter. She had a little bit of a slip like about 2 years ago or so, where like she had a little bit of a drought of like she had like two or three losses in a row, but she's bounced back and has looked a lot better and starting to look like her younger self. Verna Jandiroba, I think she's the older fighter. I think she's like 30. She's gonna be late 30s by now. She's been fighting for a long time.
Yeah,
she's got to be like 38 probably, if I had to guess, something like that. So we shall see. I haven't dove into their fights, and I always look at their past matchups, who they fought before, if there's any common opponents, a whole bunch of different things before I make my picks. So we will definitely get all that to you guys, and we'll make an announcement when our live event will be out for UFC.
Yeah, Verna is currently 37 years of age, taking on 32-year-old Dern. So yeah, we'll get that announcement out to you guys. And then of course we'll have a little bit of a break in UFC. We'll be there in middle of November, where of course we got 322, which will be in middle of November. So right before the holidays. So we'll do that, and then everything moves to, of course, Paramount Plus, Eric Shano, in January.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's what I'm most looking forward to. Stop paying for these pay-per-views.
Exactly.
We're not covering any fights for this. Look out for this before this weekend. I might drop there's a fight night coming up this weekend. I might just post it on X, a pick or two here that I like. I'm not official here yet, but what I like, but Charles Oliveira is fighting a fight night, and it's in Brazil, his hometown, where he's like a god, treated like a god down there. He's a former lightweight champ, and he's fighting there on a fight night. He's usually a guy that's on the main cards of a pay-per-view fight, so it's a pretty big deal for a fight night, which are free usually. They're usually on they used to be on ESPN, but now that ESPN's no longer the carrier for UFC, I don't know what it'll be on. I'll have to look it up.
Well, no, they still have it contracted with ESPN Plus, so they'll still do that.
Oh, yeah, because that goes to the end of the year, right?
Yeah. But the main card will be, of course, FX. The number cards, as I like to call them.
Yeah. This is just the fight night, which is like in between the pay-per-views, the main ones, the number cards.
Yeah.
But Charles Oliveira, he's a super entertaining fighter. He lost the last couple, and he just lost to Taporia recently. He got knocked out. His chin's starting to show, but he's a super entertaining fighter. Everybody loves him. He's a fan favorite. So if you're interested in good fights, he fights this weekend, so it might be worth checking out if you're interested in it. I just wanted to bring that up because I love Charles Oliveira, and I don't know how many more fights of him we have left. There's a rumor, I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but since they're fighting in Brazil, there's a rumor that he might retire in his home country there in Brazil after this fight night. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. But he's a great fighter, and I just want to let everybody know that it should be an entertaining fight coming on this weekend, and it's free because it's a fight night. It'll be on TV.
Yeah. So as we close up here, 321 will be on October 25th. So we got a little bit over like 2.5 weeks away. Then we take a couple of weeks off, and then November 15th would be the 322, and that's going to be the last number card before they switch over to Paramount Plus, etc. So and that'll be the last one for the calendar year there, Shano.
There's none in December at all this year?
I don't see it. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. No. They have a fight night, and then that's it.
That's surprising to me. Like they're taking off from November 15th or whatever till December.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, that's the last pay-per-view. There's a couple fight nights. Yep. Yeah, that's surprising to me. I didn't know that. Yeah. Maybe they knew like their contract was going to be up and they didn't want to be like up in the air when they were scheduling it or whatever. But now they're going to be on Paramount Plus, which thank God. I'll pay the $10 a month or whatever it is for Paramount Plus.
Yeah, Dana's smart. Dana's smart, man. I mean, he knows the business, and my hat's off to him. I'm glad his product is doing very well, very popular, and we're honored to be covering it. But that is, of course, our recap of UFC 320. We end up going 4-2, a couple big plus winners. But check us out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that thumbs up. Really helps the channel out for us. But we'll be back, of course, with more more UFC stuff for UFC 321, which will take place in about a couple weeks from now. For Shane O'Mac, I'm Joe the Fan. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.